Hey guys, so my name's Elise. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing like an everyday makeup look, which is like what I wear when I go to school or whatever. It's basically really simple, but there's kind of a lot to it because I'm kind of extra and I kind of wear a lot of makeup on a daily basis. But yeah, so if you want to see how to get this look, keep watching. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyes, and this is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Minersin. So I just go one eye at a time because this dries pretty quickly. And then I just use my finger to blend it out. So then I'm going to take a matte white shade and I'm going to go into the Chocolate Bar palette by Too Faced, and I'm going to take the shade White Chocolate, and I'm just going to take like a regular shader brush that's a little bit more fluffy, and I'm going to dip into that and just cover the entirety of both of my eyelids. Tap off the excess. And this is just acting as a base. This isn't really adding to like any of the colors we put down. It's just gonna make blending easier. So then I'm gonna take a fluffy crease brush and I'm going to go into the shade Salted Caramel, which is like a warm transition shade. And then I'm just going to run this through my crease. And I'm going to start with back and forth motions, and then eventually, once it's like more blended out, go into circular motions. So then I'm going to go into the shade Unreal from the Lorac Unzipped palette, and I'm just going to take my finger and run this over the entirety of my lid. And this is going to be just the last eyeshadow we use, just because this makeup look is pretty simple and for every day. Okay, then I'm going to go back into that Salted Caramel shade before, just to make sure that the transition is like seamless. Just a little bit. Then this part is optional, and this part depends on whether or not I'm running out of time or if I have time, whatever. You can highlight your brow bone, which I'm going to do and show you today. So I'm just going to take the shade Champagne Truffle, and I'm just going to highlight the brow bone just a little bit. This is optional. You don't really need to, especially if you're on the run. Okay, so now I'm going to just run a little bit of a makeup wipe underneath my eyeshadow or not my eyeshadow, my eyes, to make sure that all the fallout is cleaned up. I used to not do this, but I started doing it because I saw a lot of people doing it, and honestly, that is the greatest thing you could ever do. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is take this Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair Eye Cream and just put it underneath my eyes. Just a little bit. Next I'm going to go in with this Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector, and I'm just going to put this on my nose, a little bit on my cheeks because I get kind of oily there, and the top of my forehead and my chin. This is supposed to prevent oil from coming through. I get very oily throughout the T-zone, so I'm just going to put it there. And I like rub it in on my nose, and then everywhere else I kind of pat it in because that seems to work better. Then I'm going to take a different primer for the rest of my face because, again, I'm extra. And this is the Revlon PhotoReady Perfecting Primer. So now I'm going to move on to my foundation, and for that I'm going to use this Tarte Empowered Hybrid Gel Foundation in Fair Light Neutral. This is kind of hard to get out because it's in a glass jar, and I always make a mess when I try to lift this top off. There we go. So I'm just going to take the cap of this and just scrape off some of it with a Q-tip, just because I don't like sticking my grimy fingers in the jar because that's unsanitary and that's kind of gross. So I'm just going to dab this all over my face, and if I need more, I'll go back in. So now I'm just going to take my beauty blender and blend that out. This is already damp. So now I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting underneath my eyes because I have kind of dark purplish under eye, and for that I'm going to use the NYX Dark Circle Concealer, and this is in 02 Light Pale. This is like an orangey pinkish shade. And I'm just going to take my finger and dab this underneath my eyes. So then, to conceal even more underneath my under eyes, because I really like my under eye to be pretty concealed, I'm going to use two different concealers. And I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Light and the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 15 Fair. And I'm just going to layer them on top of each other because this one is more of a matte finish and this is more of a dewy finish, and I like the way they look together. Then I'm just going to spot conceal a little bit with the Maybelline one and a little concealer brush. I don't like to really use the beauty blender to conceal blemishes or anything like that because I feel like it takes away too much of the product, so I'm just going to use a brush. So then this is where things can change up a little bit. If I'm really in a rush, I'll set my under eye concealer and everything else on my face with the RCMA powder, but I'll use a brush like this for my under eye and then a bigger powder brush for the rest of my face. But if I have more time, I will take a beauty blender and bake my under eye and bake the other parts of my face, just because you need to let it rest a little longer when you do that. So today I'm going to do the baking. So I'm going to take the RCMA No Color Powder, dip my sponge into it like this, and then bake my under eye. So now while I'm waiting for the rest of my face to bake, I'm going to do my eyebrows, which is really not that interesting, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm just going to take an old mascara wand and use it as a spoolie, and I'm just going to brush my eyebrows into place. And then I'm going to take the Benefit Brow in shade number 3 and just run a little bit of this through my brows. I don't really like a sculpted brow, even when I'm doing more intense looks. Plus this is a lot quicker for everyday makeup days such as this one. So I'm just going to run it through. So now I'm going to use the CoverGirl Professional Natural Lash Eyebrow Gel, and it's just a clear eyebrow gel, to set my lashes. Not lashes, eyebrows. Wow. Next I'm going to take this powder brush. Honestly, a bigger powder brush with a bigger bristle might be better than this, but this is all I have right now. And I'm just going to wipe away the bake. And then I'm going to take a little bit of more powder and just powder up the areas that I didn't really reach with the bake, just to make sure my entire face is completely set. So now I'm just going to curl my eyelashes because my eyelashes aren't very naturally curly and I like them a little bit more curled. And then I'm going to take this Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara, and I'm going to use this as the first mascara on my eyes. Then for a second layer of mascara, I'm going to take the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara, just to give it a little bit extra oomph and to add a little bit more black, because I like a really black mascara over top. So then to finish up my bottom lashes, I'm going to take this CoverGirl Hydrofuge Full Lash Bloom in Waterproof. And I like to use waterproof mascara on my bottom lashes because my eyes are very watery, and this will make sure that it doesn't run off during the day. Okay, so the eyes are officially done. So now I'm going to move on to the rest of my face. And so I'm going to take the Naked Urban Decay Blush in Strip. And I'm going to take only the bronzer from this, and I'm going to bronze up my face. And to do that, I'm going to use this Tarte brush. I don't know what it's called, but it looks like this. And this is just like a really nice brush to get everywhere. Then to just clean up a little bit underneath, I'm going to take the same RCMA powder again and then just swipe it underneath a little bit. This is totally extra, but I do it anyway. Then I'm just going to take this powder brush again and just go underneath the top of my forehead a little bit just because it got a little sloppy, and this is just to make sure it's all blended in nicely. So I don't really do blush on a daily basis because I don't really love the way it looks on my face, but I do highlighter on a daily basis. And I do go extremely hardcore when it comes to highlighting because I just love the way that highlighters look. So I'm going to take this little e.l.f. brush and I'm going to dip into one of my favorite highlighters from the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Dipped, which is Moonstone. And you can tell the pan is almost empty. And I'm just going to put that on the tops of my cheekbones. And I go in with a heavy hand because I like my highlighters intense. I'm just going to go back in with this Tarte brush, whatever product is left on, just go back over my bronzer a little bit just to make sure it's nice and sharp and clean. Then I'm going to take this powder brush for the last time and just run it over the bakeage just to wipe off that excess powder. So now I'm not going to do anything crazy with my lips. I'm just going to put a little bit of a lip treatment / lip gloss on because that's what I normally wear on the everyday because I don't know, I don't really go too ham with my lips on the everyday. But anyway, so I'm going to take the Dr. Lipp Miracle Balm for dry skin lips and I'm just going to put this all over my lips. It's just basically a clear lip gloss. And then to complete this final makeup look, I'm going to take the Mario Badescu Skincare Facial Spray with Aloe Herbs and Rose Water, which is the love of my life, and I'm going to use this to set my face. So that completes this makeup video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like up this video and subscribe to my channel if you want. Thanks for checking it out.